All of us have desires. I travel around the world and find out people are just about alike all around the world. We all have desires. We all want to do something worthwhile. We all want to be meaningful to our family. We all want to be recognized. We all want to have satisfaction. We were meant for enterprise. We've all got those similar desires. But here's what people are looking for that you've got now in your hands to take to the marketplace, and that's called ways and means. Ways and means to go from here to there. Ways and means to go from where I am to where I want to finally be. Ways and means to take what I've got, because I can't take any more than what I've got and turn it into more than I've got. What is the magic of that? And the magic is to find opportunity which provides for you the ways and the means. So that journey of 5 years that I was with Mr. Schoaf before he died was the most extraordinary time of my life in terms of business, in terms of income, in terms of life change, in terms of the ideas he exposed for me as far as leadership is concerned, understanding the marketplace, understanding banks and money, understanding capitalism, understanding people, how to work with people, communication, all that stuff I learned during that 5 years. And I've applied it in many different ways, and I've diversified my enterprises now around the world. However, the beginning that was so extraordinary for me was that chance to be exposed to network marketing all those years ago. Now, it's been all those years ago since I was a distributor. So I don't have any current information of yesterday. I don't have any current information last year, nor the last 10 years. But the drama that affected my life all those years ago, and I've kept up with the industry, as you well know, and I would just like to share with you some of the incredible impressions that happened to me during that 5-year period between when I was 25 and 30. That was the drama of my life. And I know that some of you probably, you're just now beginning this drama. Maybe not at age 25, but it doesn't matter what age. Make this note. Any 6 years you want to. I did it between ages 25 and 31. Went from zero to a millionaire. Any 6 years you pick, you can dramatically affect your life. You can dramatically change course. You can dramatically alter the outcome of your daily input. Any 6 years you want to pick. Because once in a while someone says, well, Mr. Rohn, I've heard your story between ages 25 and 31. All this drama happened for you, but I'm 40. And I says, then you do it between 40 and 46. So make the note. Any 6 years you pick, any 5 years you pick, 6 years you pick. Here's what any 6 years you pick can be. Drastically different than the last 6. Now, if you need to. Now, see, I desperately needed to. Because I tell the story when just before I met Schoaf, right, the Girl Scout knocked on my door and offered me the Girl Scout cookies. Most of you have heard that story. She said, Mr. Rohn, just support the Girl Scouts. Everybody's doing it. Here's the cookies, several flavors. It's only $2. And with a big smile, she very politely asked me to buy. No problem, I wanted to buy. Big problem, I didn't have $2 in my pocket. So I did what I thought was next best. I lied to her. I said, I've already bought lots of Girl Scout cookies. Still got plenty stacked in the house. Might as well make it big. Cookies stacked in the house. She said, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for the Girl Scouts. And she walked away, big smile. When she left, I said to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. How low can you get lying to a Girl Scout? I mean, that's the ultimate. So from that unbelievable experience, shortly after that, my friend said to me, I've gone to work for this man, you gotta meet him. Shortly after that. Now, who knows? You know, some people say, well, here's why that happened. I don't know. You know, I take the simple approach, as all of you well know. I don't know why it happens. One of those things, that's what I call it. You don't have to study it. Don't have to figure it out. All we know is what? It happens. You can't arrange it. You can't fix it. It either will happen or it won't happen. For me, it did happen. So don't spend any time studying. Just accept the simple approach. The sun comes up in the east. Somebody says, why is that? I wouldn't spend any time on that. It's called one of those things. You don't have to worry about it. Just let the obvious be your best teacher. After the fact is the best teacher. And we've all got plenty of after the fact experience that says, you know, interesting things happen. We don't know why. Somebody says, well, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, it'd be hard for you to explain that. And maybe it's true. I'm not saying it isn't true. But it's, you know, if it's a mystery, leave it a mystery. And I'm not sure that always when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You know, I've been ready and the teacher was late. I mean, no, I'm not saying that isn't true. But what I'm saying is the drama of my life was greatly affected at a time when I needed it most. If I would have met Mr. Schoaf 2 years earlier, I might have shrugged him off saying, hey, I've got things going. But 2 years later, I'd had enough of those embarrassing experiences to say, I'm ready to listen. And then Mr. Schoaf started me out on taking personal responsibility. And most of you have heard that story. When I told him it cost too much, he said, no, you can't afford it. I thought, new way to look at it. When I said it's them, he said, no, it's you. I said, it's it. He said, no, it's not it. It's not them. It's you. And all you've got to do is go to work on yourself, and everything out there will start to change. Once I understood that concept, my whole life changed. But within the drama of that personal development experience was also the drama of getting into network marketing, touching other people's lives with something of value. And that's about how simple network marketing is, touching other people's lives with something of value. It's the simplest form of economics that you can teach to children, touching someone's life with something of value, bringing goods and services to the marketplace. You know, there's other ways to say it, but that's just about as simple as you can say it. An opportunity to touch many people's lives with something of value. And the many people is determined by you. You can talk to 3 or 4, build a little business around home, or you can talk to 1,000, build a big business, eventually internationally, build mega business. The same formula works for everybody. Start small and grow big. Or you can start big and grow bigger. I mean, you know, start wherever you want to start. So, introduce to network marketing. Now, let me give you a little bit of scenario on what I learned why network marketing. Here's number 1, in business for yourself, but not by yourself. A chance to try your own wings at America's opportunity called capitalism. And here's where capital is the safest, in the hands of the many, not the few. That's why capital in the hands of the government is unsafe, because it's in the hands of too few. We also have antitrust so that capital won't collect into the hands of too few. I did that session on power here, I think, not long ago. Power tends to corrupt. So the best way for capital to serve is for capital to be distributed among the many. Now, here's what the many have to be taught: how to use it. They need ways and means. So here was one of the first lessons I learned. Profits are better than wages. It's noble to earn wages and make a living, but it's exciting to earn profits and make a fortune. Once kids understand that, they'll go bonkers. Because you can earn a profit long before you can earn a wage, legitimately. In business for yourself, almost everybody wishes for that. If I could have a business, right? If I could be my own boss, if I could come and go as I pleased, if I could, you know, grow as fast as I wanted to grow, a lot faster than I can do on an ordinary orthodox job. How could I do that? Here's the answer. The answer is network marketing. A chance to be in business for yourself. But here's the rest of it that's exciting. Not by yourself. In business for yourself, but not by yourself. All you have to do is look around here, and there's what we call group dynamics working here. All you had to bring to this session was yourself, one person. But you carry away the atmosphere of everybody. You carry away the spirit of everybody. You carry away the image of this many people sitting in this room at this level. This is called near the summit. But here's the whole key. For yourself, but not by yourself. A support system second to none. And one of the things we all need in the list of needs that I gave before is a support system, right? When we're just babies, we need the support system of our family to take care of us and until we can finally take care of ourselves, to show us the future until we can see it for ourselves, to see us better than we are before we become better than we are. That support system is necessary. And that's one of the advantages of multi-level, being in business for yourself, being able to design your own future, being able to make it as big as you want to, take your time if you want to, slow as you want to, fast as you want to. Build it as big as you want to, as wide as you want to, as high as you want to, go as far as you want to, cash in as much as you want to. This is called the American dream coming true. Yes, there's the American dream of the young lad that started in the mail room and now he's the chief executive of the corporation. But how many stories like there are there? There's not millions. But in multi-level, it's the chance to start from scratch. A chance to start from scratch. And if you're starting from scratch, we can show you how to do that. If you're scared, we can show you how to start scared. Right? Hand somebody a brochure and just run away. We'll teach you how to do that. We'll teach you how to make sure your phone number's on it. Guy takes this brochure home and says, Martha, to his wife, Martha, you won't believe, a grown man handed me this brochure and he just ran. She says, well, what is it? He says, I don't know. She says, well, let's look. So they look over the brochure and she says, this looks interesting. Let's call. So they call John. They say, John, are you the guy that ran away? He says, yes, I was so scared, I'm just getting started. I'm telling you, we can show you how to do that. In business for yourself. In business for yourself, but not by yourself. Guess what? Here's the exciting part about multi-level. Scared people helping scared people. Right? Some of you just walked out of the dark. But you can help somebody the very first day that you walk out of the dark. You can help somebody that's in the dark. The very first day something dawns on you, you can go share it with someone else. When Show first taught me about setting goals, I got so excited that day I could hardly stand it. I went to my friend Charlie Garrett. I said, Charlie, look what the man showed me. I'm going to set goals and change my life. I said, Charlie, why don't you do it? Do it with me. Right? You've been a clod just like me. I said, let's do it, let's do it. As I think back now, that was my first seminar. Charlie Garrett. I leaped upon him. I said, come on, Charlie, look what the man showed me. So that's what's exciting about multi-level. Chance to be in business for yourself. Design your own life. Design the dimensions. Remember, wages are noble for making a living. Profits are exciting for making a fortune. And you can combine both to begin with. Next, all the tax advantages. I learned that right away. Of being in business for yourself. The tax advantages. All of the write-offs. Now, that's not the only reason for being in business for yourself, but mark it down. It is a major one. You can make your own list. Everything you can think of, all the reasons for belonging to network marketing. Next, a chance to be a sponsor. A chance to bring other people into the business. And here you can just let your dreams go. You can bring 2 people into the business. You can bring 5 people into the business. You can bring 10, you can bring 100, you can bring 1 person a day. Add this up, 3 a day in a year is 1,000. 3 a day in a year is 1,000. 3 of anything a day in a year is 1,000. Hand out 3 brochures a day and run. In a year, by the time you've, passed a little bit while, you won't run anymore. So they'll be more effective. But 3 of anything in a year is 1,000. 3 phone calls a day in a year is 1,000. Right? 3 meetings a day in a year is 1,000 meetings. Make this note. You can't do something positive 1,000 times without something extraordinary happening. Can't. Even if you're not good at it to start with. In sales, I learned. Just, go around looking pitiful. Somebody will buy. Just to help out. If you just went around saying, you wouldn't want to buy anything, would you? Somebody's going to say what? Well, maybe I would. What are you selling? You can't say mind your own business. No, you got to tell them. So a chance to be a sponsor, a chance to be a sponsor. Now, underline responsible. Sponsor means responsible. Responsible for introducing someone else to the business. Sponsor, telling someone else how it works. By the way, here's some questions everybody wants to know. Every prospect asks these questions. What is it? Is question number one. Be sure you can describe what it is, forwards and backwards, top to bottom, bottom to top. The principles, don't be lazy here in learning all the dimensions of the opportunity. You know, there's no reason for that. It'll take too big a chunks out of your income to be lazy here in learning the full scope, the full dimensions. And there's already people that are measuring in terms of performance the full scope that's possible right now. It's not the full scope that's going to be possible. You got to learn that too. The full scope of what's going to be possible in terms of income, return, productivity. But enough people now, the few months that this company's been launched, that there's plenty of illustration as to the full scope now, how far, you know, how well it'll work. But that's the first question, what is it? Now here's the question number two, how does it work? Make sure you can describe the marketing plan in all of its aspects. Don't get lazy here. Master the plan. Can't tell you anything better than that. Master the plan. If I sat down with you and asked you about 5 or 6 simple questions, I could find out very quickly whether or not you've mastered the plan. You say, well, I just got here. You mean you just walked in the door today? You said, no, I've been around a few weeks. Well, then you should be well on your way to mastering the plan. You burn a little midnight oil here. Here's why. There's a window of opportunity here. And the window doesn't stay open. In space language, the window opens and closes. It opens and closes. And here's the time to master it, when you're hot about the idea. Because if you don't, here's what sets in, the law of diminishing intent. You intend to do something hot. And if you let time go by, it gets less and less and less and less. So master the plan. Here's number 3, how do you get started? And show them a variety of ways of getting started. Anything you can share with them, right, that intrigues them with what you know, intrigues them with your grasp of life and opportunity in business. Don't just talk about the business, talk about life. Talk about opportunity, talk about being stuck and finally getting loose, talk about being in the dark and finally walking into the sunlight, talk about being scared and finally being confident, talk about being overwhelmed and finally working your way out. That's what people want to know. Here's a clue on identification. People want to know just a little bit about your success. They want to know mostly about your journey. You say, well, I'm worth $1 million. That only takes a few seconds to tell. Somebody says, how did you get there? And did you want to quit along the way? You know, and what'd you do about your brother-in-law? People want to know the details. Here's what identifies. The pain along the way identifies with people more than the money in the bank. Right? The problems you had and the problems you overcame and how you worked your way out of it, you worked your way around it. Wanted to quit 5 times the first year. Finally hung in there, and I said to myself, no, I'm not giving this thing up. This is too big. This is too great. And I'm telling you, finally it turned. Finally it turned. That's what people want to know. They want to know your trials, not the amount of money you got in the bank. That's just the result. You can get that done in a minute or two. The rest of the time now, you got to spend on what it can do for you. How I walked out of pain into feeling better. I walked away from illness into health. Okay. So, master the plan. Number 1, what is it? Number 2, master the plan. How does it work? Here's number 3, how do you get started? Now here's number 4, everybody wants to know this. Can I do it? Someone like me. I only have limited education. I've got limited amount of money. You know, I've got limited experience. I don't have any support at home. I'm all by myself. I'm a senior citizen. Is there any chance for me? Someone says, do you take teenagers? You got to have some answers for that. Now, here's what I want you to put in parentheses. Gather all the stories. You got to have a backlog of stories. So if you're talking to a teacher, you got teacher stories. If you're talking to a teenager, you got teenage stories. If you're talking to a senior citizen, you got senior citizen stories. Don't get lazy here. Applying yourself to this opportunity is going to be the biggest payoff you ever had. If you get lazy here, it'll be ordinary. Here's what laziness does. Turns an extraordinary opportunity into an ordinary income. How come some people don't do much with it? It's because by their own laziness, they've taken an extraordinary opportunity and gotten very little from it. Why? It's not because the opportunity isn't great. It's because they didn't apply themselves. If you asked them 3 questions about the marketing plan, they wouldn't know. If you asked them 6 questions about the product, they could probably maybe struggle through. They haven't really applied themselves. So I'm asking you, and I'm sure you already have. I'm not getting on your case. These are for the people that aren't here. Take the message home to them. Get on their case for me. Jim Rohn said, come home, get on your case. Can I do it? You got to have a bag full of answers to prove that someone like them can do it. Their color, their religion, where they live, on their side of town, with their kind of circumstances, with their age, with their background, with their lack of education. You got to be able to say yes, and here's why. And now that we've grown this big, you can already say, I've met the people just like you. I've met someone just like you. Now, before you leave, here's what else you got to do. Take some pictures so you can match the testimonial with the picture. Here's a lady that walked out of the shadows into the sunlight. If you say, I know a lady that walked out of the shadows into the sunlight, it's a lot more effective to say, see this lady? I'm telling you, here's where she was 90 days ago. Here's where she is today. Here's what's happened to her today. Here's a family that didn't know where to go, and the father said, hey, I'll take charge. And he rescued his family from oblivion. This is the man. Here's his family, and this is the man. I'm asking you to be so dedicated to your craft, so dedicated to the opportunity. You can either get a little out of this extraordinary opportunity, or you can get a lot. And the lot isn't going to depend on how big the company gets. The lot that you get isn't going to depend on how far-reaching this is. As far-reaching as this company may be in the next couple of years could very well leave you behind if you get lazy here in mastering the early skills of knowing what this thing is all about so you can answer any question forwards and backwards. If I'd been here actively working this business for the last 90 days, do you think I'd have the answers? I'd have more answers than there were questions. I'm asking you to be so like-minded. When I got a hold of the increasing discount schedule, I just absolutely went bonkers, and I said to myself, I will master this. Now, it took me some time. Farm boy from Idaho, I had some stuff to learn, but I learned it very quickly because I had this burning desire that if I mastered this, wealth was mine, fortune was mine. No telling what I could accomplish and how far I could go and how many things I could see and how many people I could meet and how meaningful my life would be in the future. I'm telling you, I was caught up in that whole thing. I did my homework, and I'm asking you to do the same thing. What is it? How does it work? How do you get started? Can I do it? Here's question number 5. How far can I go? Be able to paint the vision of the future. Now, even if you've just gotten started, you say, here's how far I'm going to go. Here's what they've already shared with me. Let somebody borrow your vision until they have vision for themselves.